Hey there, fellow gamers. Onerous here with another episode of Let's Learn Dyson Sphere Program. And last episode, we put down our miners and have somewhat hooked into the network our fire ice and the other one, the optical grating crystals. And we are going to be bringing them back to Alpha Leporus 3, no, Alpha Leporus 1 for production. Yes, that's right. But if you remember correctly, there was a bit of an issue. There was a bit of an issue with a lack of the availability of these guys, and it's a bit of an issue all around, isn't it? Look at that. What are we missing here? It's iron. That's right. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me. It was only a couple of hours ago. Again, I'm pre-recording a bunch of these because I'm going on holidays. But the iron situation in our little home base is, look, it's a bit of a problem. It is a bit of a problem. And we've got, basically, this is our iron production. And it's just abysmal, isn't it? It's just abysmal. Do we have iron ore available? Do we have iron ore available? If I set that to 200 and do a demand, yeah, we do. We do somewhere have iron ore available. So we could expand this. We could expand this, or we could just find a new bit of area. Where we do some more. The other option too, of course, is we could upgrade all of this. We could upgrade all of this, which would get some of this going a bit better. And then with this being upgraded, that actually means that we can extend this. I mean, obviously we can't do it all the way here, but that is just a small amount of additional production. We get additional one here. There we go. All right. With obviously a little bit of power would also be handy. That looks perfect. All right. So that is slightly more. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but I've got to stop clicking on those. There we go. If we can find somewhere else with a bit of space, and it's getting a little difficult. It's getting a little difficult on this planet to find buildable space. But there is. Oh, look at that! There's a bunch over here. All right. We'll use that to run a couple of iron smelting lines here. Just to get us past this little hump, because again, this isn't an area we particularly care about, but it's also not an area we don't care about. I just put in an Interstellar one there, which is not what we want. We just want a local cheapie. Pop it over here. Get as much space as we can. So you're going to be requesting iron ore, and you're going to be supplying iron plate. Yeah, give me something like that. See how we go. Apparently, so wherever this is coming from, it doesn't have logistic spots. That is what I am getting from this. Okay, let's just pop 10 in here. Yep, 10-ish, and power that up over here. And then we should, yeah, okay. Now we've got some coming out. Okay, so where are we building these smelting columns? Well, I guess this is kind of the area over here. That is the change. That is one of those crazy changes. So we'll go with this without that little bit there, and then a smelter, and then another one. All right, going the other way though. Going the other way. Yes. And iron is just a one per second, I believe. Yes, 1 per second, so we can do 12 of these in a row. And if we do a gap like that, we can perfectly see that that is 12. Easy peasy, alright. And pop down some power poles. Do we need one at the end? I don't recall. Does that cover? Yeah, that actually does cover it all. Alright. And then this one here can go there. And that will be one whole thing once we actually add some sorters. Sorter, what did I do? Sorter from there to there and there to there. Alright, and then we can copy that across to there, close that, and then we can copy that and paste a couple of them, just a couple of them I reckon. And let's line it up nicely. Line it up nicely. I think that one has a gap, doesn't it? It does. That is unacceptable. There we go. All right. And there we go. Okay. So now we have that's considerably more iron ore, iron plate production than we had before, and it was pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Doesn't take too long to do. I wonder we can probably. Ooh, yeah. Okay. That's interesting. This it just does that item in the area. Whereas if I do it on here, it's the belts. Yeah. That's quite nice. All right. But we remove those power poles, and then these ones here are just out of range. Well, there you go. You can have a couple at the end there. So we need 3 outs, and okay. So this is going to be iron ore. If I can. Why are you doing some weird stuff to me, buddy? Iron ore. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted at all. That should be the old belt, and then that's the new belt. There we go. Okay, so you're coming up to here and going in there. And then you can come down to here and go in there. You will come out here with some more iron ore. And work into that one. Then you come up. Let's try not to block off those other ones. Over to here, and into there. Then we get some more iron ore coming out. That's right. There we go, there we go. And then you just run up to here and into there. All right. So what's going on with this one? Obviously we haven't got our filter there. We might need to bump that up just a wee bit. Put it up to 2,000, and yeah, we'll see. We might not have the iron ore supply hooked up to wherever. I don't even know where these are hooked up to, but generally speaking, we got three lines off most of the mines that we were hooking up to. So I think 3 lines here should do all right. We're using absolutely all of our drones, which I think is because we're probably sending them elsewhere as well. So I'm going to see if I put a bunch more drones in there, then we also want to do that. Can't forget to do that, because that will save the efficiency of our drones. And while this is happening, our power is still fine. It's still fine. And yeah, we're still not keeping up with supply, but this should help us drastically help us. Now, there was an issue over here, wasn't there? There was something that wasn't being made because there was no iron. It was CPUs, maybe? Yeah, and they're starting to come. They're starting to come through. That's okay. All right, so this is back up and running, but look, this is not an area where we are too worried about production. So I think it behooves us now to head on back to Alpha Leporis 3. A quick check on all of our items, though. Because I did place down a few miners and that, but we've still got a bunch of miners. I might grab some more of these guys. We'll keep with 1 stack of them, and then yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of those. Let's make it 4 stacks is fine. All right. How's our bots? We've got the bots are over here, aren't they? Yep. So let's actually take 2 stacks of logistics vessels, and that's honestly probably enough. But why would we not have a full stack of those? And then our belt situation. Let's get rid of those guys and probably grab another 3 so we have a full row of belts. Yep, perfect. All right, and then the rest of the stuff is kind of okay. Maybe power poles. Have 2 stacks of that. Okay, because I don't really want to come back here if I can avoid it. let's head on over to Alpha Leporis 1. It's unfortunately on the other side of the planet. And other side of the star, sorry. And we'll head over there and set up two things. First of all, we want to bring some of the, well, I should say, first of all, we'll set up some production of the things, accumulators, yes, because I think we'll have better luck over here with particularly the supermagnetic rings. They were a bit of a drag. So with the supermagnetic rings that we have in Alpha Leporis 1, we have a much higher production rate, and we should be able to make a lot more accumulators that we will need. There we go. All right. So where are we? Try and get my bearings again. So this is our, yeah, this is actually probably a good spot because these guys are up here. These guys are up here, and is there a reason why I wouldn't have 5,000 of them? I know initially I was like a little worried about some of these items. Look, honestly, again, a big buffer. This is the same thing with Factorio. A big buffer is just covering up a lack of supply. At some point, you are using more than you are providing, and you just end up with issues. All right, we've got so much fuel oil. We're not using it. We are not using the fuel oil. I'm not too worried about stone anymore, actually, now that we have the other stone going. So let's begin, and I'll try and do some production of accumulators here, just basic accumulators. What do we need for accumulators? Where are they? They're in buildings, that's right. We need iron, we need supermagnetic rings, and we need high purity silicon. Do we have production? Let's get rid of that for now. Okay, didn't want to do that. There we go. Let's check. I don't think we actually have production of high purity silicon here in our mass kind of area over here. We've got regular silicon. No, that's glass. Actually, our silicon production is elsewhere because it was one of those super early things that we did. So if I look on the map, it'll be over here. Yeah, is that our only silicon production? Our only silicon plate production? I think it might be. Wow. Gosh, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? It is keeping up. I mean, we're not using that much silicon plate at this point. But that is a worry. We've also only got that one bit. We must have more. Where is the other silicon node? There it is here. Yeah, okay. So we've got another one over here that's barely working because that's basically dead. We probably need to do some silicon. And I remember I wanted to check this, didn't I? We've got 150,000 is... Oh, we've actually got 2.5 mil of silicon because I think we have silicon over here, don't we? Yeah. Okay, we'll have to check that. We will have to check that. I wonder whether I'm exporting silicon from there as of yet. Anyway, let's go back then and stick with our original plan. Now, our space warpers. They are in here. And we have some drones available. We don't actually have power to here, which is a problem. There we go. Alright, so we have drones, and we actually have requested a small amount of drones. How does a Interstellar Logistics station take these things? Well, we've got to find out at some point, don't we? We have to find out at some point. And there are now a bunch of resources that we want to bring in from the other planet. So let's find a spot up here where we can fit in another interstellar supply guy. Alright, so if you go as far as you can up here, which is apparently that line, which does cross over one of these shonky bits, but how do we feed in space warpers? Can I request a space warper? Let's have a look at this. If I request a space warper here, let's see what happens when it comes in here. Are we just going to end up with this having 140, or is there going to be some coming in here? Because the other thing will be, do I need to actually feed these in somehow in a way that they are going to get used? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued as to what's going to happen here. I also need to just land, and let's power this guy up with a power pole, probably there. All right. Yes, so it did take from this supply. It did take from this supply, and it's got the 50 space warpers there. So that's good to know. That's good to know. We'll have one of those available there. So what I want here then is I want to put some of these as remote supply and local demand. I don't know, a couple thousand. Yeah, a couple thousand here. Then we want to have, just so we have all the space warpers in this one, we want to have our optical grating crystal as local supply, and we'll put in a remote demand. And then we also want to have our fire ice. So these are the two resources we are getting from the other planet. And we want to have local supply. Okay. So now if I just set these at... Honestly, we probably want to max this out just because we want to get... it's really tough because this is going to have a lot of load on logistics bots to begin with. Considering we have only 10, that's 6,000 at a time. So that's going to be like 4 trips to actually fill this up. Yeah, actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Okay, so these are local supply, remote demand, remote demand. Let's see if this one will go as well. Yep. Distance to enable warp 12. So we haven't. Okay, can I see if some of these are warping? Oh. Yes, they are. Yep, we can see them warp off. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? All right, doesn't actually take very long to get there. Good as gold. Good as gold. Okay, let's get back in. So that's good. Now all we need to do is we need to give some production of accumulators. Okay. Yeah, this space warpers, I want to try and minimize the number of these that have space. So I'm thinking like, do I put down another Interstellar Logistics with... Because if with one of the good thing is with one of these I could make accumulators with 3 materials that they need. However, I don't want to have multiples of these with space warpers just yet because we're actually we're really low on space warpers, aren't we? Well, we're not. We're not really low. Okay. Changed my mind. We're going to set this up here. I'm going to get rid of those. And let's put another one. No, I do not want to shift click that. That is not what I wanted. All right. What was that we're short on storage? We don't really use storage now that we're using interplanetary logistics. Okay, so if I come over here, this looks like an area we can do a little bit of terraforming. Terraform it up. There we go. And then we can use this here to make some things. It kind of goes against our pattern of building out this way though, doesn't it? Although we're building out both ways, it's fine. It's fine. Let's not worry too much at this point. Interstellar Logistics. Let's start up here. Is this going to be wide enough? Probably not. I'm going to have to build across a couple of these weird changes because we're building so far north, but that's all right. So let's build this one up here. All right, so you are going to need space warpers, and you are going to supply accumulators, empty accumulators, because that's what we need to send up there, and I couldn't be able to charge them here. And then to make the accumulators, you need iron. You need iron, supermagnetic rings, and silicon. We don't have any of this, I don't think. So we need iron, supermagnetic rings, and just regular silicon. I will put in a demand for crystal silicon, and we'll see what happens. Let's just do something like that. Local demand, local demand, local demand. You're going to need some power. You're also going to need a few drones. That's right. You will need some of those, but you're also going to need some of them. That's too many. That's fine. All right. So we're getting those coming in, and yeah, we're not getting any of this. So that's what I thought. We'll have to make our own here. There we go. Local demand. Wonderful. Okay. And again, I don't know. If we're making them all here, we probably... I'm just worried about the supermagnetic rings, so maybe 2,000 of them is going to be fine. And again, 100 of those, local demand. Remote storage. Did I do that over here? Yeah, let's... Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? We probably should make space warpers available as remote demand somewhere, and might as well be here. Sorry, not remote demand, remote supply, and then we'll have, I don't know, 400. Oh, well, what's a logistics ship going to have? 600. So let's put 800 in here, and then if we need them in another planet, at least we can request them straight away from the network. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with this. Now we just need to make this a reality by starting with some silicon production. Let's go all the way over to here. I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to make. Let's have some targets here. 1 a second should be pretty easy, shouldn't it? These take 5 seconds. That's 5 assemblers. I reckon we can go 2 a second. So if we went 2 a second, we would need 12 crystalline a second, and that would need 24. Nah, we're doing 1 a second. All right, we're doing 1 a second. We don't have enough smelters for that, do we? It is a smelter? Yeah, it is. I do have the higher smelter tech, but I don't think we're going to use it for this. All right, so can we get 12 in here? We can. That's excellent. All right. Do I need 12 or is it just 6? Because this is using, yeah, 1 every 2 seconds. That's using 0.5 a second. We actually get more than that. Yeah, because this is what I was thinking of. It uses that, but look, this will be fine. This will be fine. Once we actually start kind of not using the accumulators, this will be less of an issue. That one was needed there. Okay. Now it is 1 every 2 seconds, so just your regular inserter will be enough. Regular inserter, please. Thank you. Yes, we put it here. Whoops, whoopsie whoops. Copy you to there, and then do the old drag around here. There we go. Alright, now why aren't you supplying me with the things that I tabbed for? Now I think the issue is when I hit the tab to select the output, I'm on a different output, and then I move to another one. And because if I go over here, you'll see that's already on silicon, and then I move to another one, and it's forgotten. So yeah, that is what is happening. Okay, so these are required along with what else for accumulators? It's just this stuff, isn't it? It's just this stuff, and it's iron, and the crystals that are the most needed. So if these guys, what can I do here? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay, and we can't actually do that here. We can't actually do that here because of this stupid change. We're not going to fit. We're not going to fit all the inputs that we need. So we're going to run you down to this line. Run you down to this line. Can I go up with you at all? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? If I stay there and then go up, Yep. Okay, this will work. This will work because I want to get the supermagnetic rings. No, I want to have the output needs to come through here. Output. Yeah. Okay. Yes, this is what I want. I want the output. I want the output of these running here. And coming up to there, and then going in to there. Alright, this is going to be the output, and then this comes down to here and runs along here. Probably not that far though, because we said we only need 6 of these. Then we put in the assemblers. Yep, starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably don't need the gaps in between, do we? I think we can, from memory, pop a pole in there still. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Is there a pole possibly closer than that? Yes, there we go. Alright, so in the end we do have to run you a little bit further. You disappear. And then on this other side we need the things that we have here. Things that we have here, which are supermagnetic rings. They go on the outside because they were the slower requirement. And then the iron here. Iron here. Did I just change that to iron? Don't tell me I did that. Alright. Now I need you to be those, please. Gosh. This is yep. We even had some space warpers in there. Wonderful. That's the joy of changing the filter. Okay. And now you are making just blank accumulators. We're going to need some sorters coming in, and out. And copy you across to there. And you're away. Alright. Simple, simple, simple. Let's get rid of some of this junk that we have in our inventory. Doesn't look like there is any more junk required. Get rid of those. Alright. Yeah, there we go. So, this is now remote supplying the vessels, but it's not going to send until we have 600 of them. It is going to use warpers because it's greater than 12 AU. The target range is infinite, which is fine. I think that's all good. I think that's all good. You guys are all working. It does seem like we are producing more. So this is producing 6 a second. There's 12 of them. There's 12 of them, and every 2 seconds it's producing more. So 6 a second. This is using 6 every 5 seconds. Wow. It's only using 1 a second. So we can actually make this much, much faster. And I just realized that it's going the wrong way. Of course it is. So let's double this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, there you go. That's slightly more than double. And we just need this to kind of kickstart the power situation. It's one of those things that eventually is just going to be a little bit meaningless to us, but for now is pretty important to get going. And who's powered and who isn't? You guys aren't, and you guys aren't. All right. So there is some level of these. What have we got here? We've got 14 assemblers, and it was 5 seconds, so that's basically 3 a second. So to fill a vessel is going to take 3 seconds is going to take 200 seconds. Yeah, all right. What's that, like 4 minutes? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. How is this looking? Look at that. The system works. The system works. We have this going. We have this going. I do want to kind of see if I drop this minimum load down to say this far, will it send one off? 30% of 600 is 180. What do you reckon? Ah, look at that. Okay. Okay. Now, this guy, this guy here. Don't run into the sun, please. He's off. He's off to our other planet, carrying 130 of those. Can we see whether he lands? I'm interested to see whether he ends up at Alnilam 1 or whether he gets pulled by one of these other ones. Because I think I'm pretty sure we set that. Yeah. So he's in at 1. That's it. That should be our. Doesn't actually say what's in it. It is nice. It is nice to see that it is going. Our first amount of regular ones. Now we do have to remember to go at some point and remove the request for these from greater than 1 light year away, so that only requests in the local system. But for now we need to build these up and send them out. Okay, I'm very happy with that. And that is actually the end of the episode. Wow. Next episode, of course, we have to look at what we're going to do with these grating crystals and fire ice. Because why did we bring them? Why did we bring them? And does this show what they're used in? That would be really nice, wouldn't it? That would be really nice. It's not a fabricated thing, is it? So it was something to do with graphene, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So 2 fire ice turns into 2 graphene, just like that, and it produces hydrogen. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And the optical grating crystals are used here with our Casimir crystals. With, oddly enough, hydrogen and graphene. That's good to know. And we are going to need the Casimir crystals for these ones. Something needs crystals. I know that. Where are we? Here we are. Yes, the plane filter. Yep, and the plane filter goes into the quantum chip. And that should be fairly nice, because the other alternative is using these guys, which is the organic matter, which we don't really want to have to set up because it uses the plastics. Yes, which is all of our fuel oil. Look at that, solar cell life. Let's not worry about it. Next episode we'll figure out the text, but that brings us to the end. As always, thank you to my amazing patrons, and don't forget, yes, I am pre-recording these for the holidays, and I'll be back sometime next week, depending when this gets aired. And then I'll hopefully get to as many of the responses in the comments below as I can. But I will read them all. I will read them all while I'm on holidays, because what do you do on holidays other than hang on your phone and look at YouTube? All right. Thanks everyone. Catch you next time.